So the other day, I took a trip to the subreddit Our Niceguys, and that was my first mistake. So I went to Our Niceguys just to see. I haven't been there in months. I just wanted to see what was going on there. And like I said, I mean that's where I fucked up. And I saw a bunch of different posts. Obviously, these people, I presumably lots of women, really, complaining or taking screenshots of some nice guys on Facebook, usually, or Twitter, or wherever, where they're posting memes or some shit about how they're in the friend zone, or about how they were rejected, or how a lot of women like jerks and shit like that. And I actually had a Google Hangout with a good friend of mine, Scratch Point, like I said, a couple months ago. So it's been a while since I've been to Our Niceguys, but I never actually made a video where I discussed Our Niceguys, and it's been a while since I talked about the friend zone in general and talking about male-female relationships at all. So that's why I'm making this video here. One thing that has often bothered me a great degree when a lot of women and white knights, discuss so-called nice guys or men in the friend zone, is two things that really kind of irk me about it. For one, a lot of the times, and I recently saw another video on Cracked, where this one guy described the friend zone as some MRA conspiracy theory made up to justify them. I'll put a link in the description box below so you can see the little Cracked animation thing where they brought this up, and I thought it was the silliest shit ever. That's one element that a lot of white knights and feminists and some women will try to pretend that MRAs made up the friend zone to justify their anger against women. It's just some bullshit like that. But another thing that really irks me a lot is a lot of people treat these men who complain about women or who are sad and upset like they're fucking worms. Like these guys are just truly detestable human beings that don't see just how detestable they truly are, and that's why they can't be with women. They're so arrogant and foolish that they cannot see that they're actually just really shitty people. And and the thing is, I mean, they do exist. I'm not saying that those guys aren't a thing, because they are. But what I am saying is it's fucking absurd to believe that the whole of men or nice guys who complain about the phenomena of the friend zone or getting rejected by women is categorized by this. Because if I walked around saying that the whole of women are just absurd attention whores who just use social media and just use their relationships with men and beta orbiters to feed their own egos, well, people would say that I'm out of my fucking mind. And I would be out of my mind if I believed that's the whole of any woman that I find on social media. I mean, is it a significant fraction? Of course it is. I mean, yes, they're a thing. They exist. But I don't pretend that that's all women ever. I don't even pretend that's a huge fraction of all of women. In the same way that I think it's unreasonable to pretend that the incredibly narcissistic or arrogant jerk-off that can't see that he's kind of shitty is really the person that is sad and upset about what has happened between his relationship or his scenario when he's trying to date a woman. Because that's one thing that I've noticed a lot that happens, or that shows up on Our Niceguys on Reddit. Like a lot of the Facebook posts or a lot of the messages usually are just guys who are just sad or just upset or just angry, and what really gets me about that element, there's two things that really get me about that shit. Is one, it confirms what I have been saying so many times on my channel, that when you try to show a woman the way you feel, when you try to talk to a woman, or you just put it out there. These nice guys, which are just on Facebook, right? They're not talking to anyone in particular, but when they just emote their feelings of disdain and sadness, right? They get mocked. They get ridiculed by women. It's hilarious to me. I just completely confirmed that. This entire subreddit confirms what I've been saying for about a couple of years now. It's just not a fucking thing, and it's really sad. But another thing that really gets me is a lot of the times it's feminists who are on Our Niceguys, and I've actually been banned. I got banned from Our Niceguys because I was arguing with a couple of people on there. I got into a lot of arguments with people on there, and the arguments I had were just kind of simple. I would just be like, I mean, this guy just kind of seems sad. And some feminists would come along and say, well, you know, just because he's sad, it doesn't mean that he should say all these mean things about women. Or maybe he should see that there's some problem in himself. And it's like, well, maybe so, but, I mean, can you give the nigga some time to get there? I mean, shit. Can he process his emotions for a second? I remember one time, which I thought was interesting. I was arguing with the feminists on our Niceguys, and I'm trying to see if I can remember the basic gist of this conversation. It got to a point where I said to her, I said, you know, it's interesting that you're a feminist, you know, and a lot of feminists talk about how they want men to express their emotions and say how they want to feel, and they should just talk to people about how they're feeling. And the moment that a man does that, he gets mocked and ridiculed on this subreddit. And so then she replied to me, she's like, no, it's fine when men tell their feelings and speak them out. But the way that these guys are doing it is unhealthy. It's not the correct way to do it. And I was like, oh, really? Oh, so it's okay to have feelings as long as it's the feelings you want him to have. Got you. Now I completely understand the position. And that was, I mean, it wasn't as simplistic as that, but I just remember the basic gist. And it just really confirmed that in a lot of feminist minds, they want men to only say the feelings that they want to hear. They want men to only express the issues that have nothing to do with how women need to change or anything like that. So, just watching that get confirmed in real time, you know, was a doozy for me. But this happened, like I said, months ago. I don't really completely remember. But the point that I'm making, though, is a lot of these men who are finding themselves post up on this subreddit are just sad people. And they're just sad people that just don't understand, you know, how interpersonal relationships work, because no one's ever taught them that. No one has ever sat down and had a conversation with them and told him, you know, this is how the world is, or this is how the dynamic between men and women are. This is, you know, what you should or need to do. And if they're not told this shit, how are they going to know? And then you have the other men in this who fall into this shit, who are told false information by their female friends. A lot of men get the idea that if you treat a woman well and you're kind to her, that she will date you from women. That's where they get the idea from. To pretend that these men have not obtained this idea from the women that they've tried to date is completely absurd and is dishonest and foolishness. I mean, where else would they get the idea that trying to treat a woman well is what's going to get her to like you? I mean, fuck, right? Someone could reply, well, maybe, I don't know, television or some shit like that, movies. You know, perhaps, but anyone knows that movies are fiction, but real women are, well, real women. And I myself have fallen prey to this trap. I remember way back when, I asked a girl straight out, this was back in the 8th grade, well, what do girls like in guys? And she told me a whole bunch of saccharine sweet shit, being kind to her, treating her well, you know, accepting her for who she is, you know, writing her poems, you know, texting her good morning and everything, you know, all that good stuff. And I did it and it failed. You know, and so for a while I was a little sad, because when I tried to date a girl, I tried to treat her really well. I tried to be really nice to her. But see, the problem that a lot of young men don't know, or don't, because no one's ever told them this. And no one has ever told them this reality. And they wouldn't know this reality because they're not women. But see, the interesting thing is, and I'll pause the video to explain, if you're a young man watching this shit, I'm going to give you the order of operations to trying to date young women, okay? You ready for this? Alright, pause it, go grab pen and paper, pause the video, get ready, because I'm going to tell you some shit that no one has probably ever told you, and this is why, if you're a nice guy, you failed so consistently. I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna do what those assholes that are nice guys don't do. Okay, you ready? Okay, this is the order of operations, okay? The order of operations, okay, when it comes to trying to date young women, if you want to date them, the only thing you have to do, are you ready for this? Is you just have to make them feel special. That's it. That is it. Now you can ask me, well, how do I go about this? How do I make Karen feel special? You know, how do I make Sally feel special? Look, man, I don't know. I don't know Karen. I don't know Sally. I mean, you're gonna have to tell me shit about Karen and Sally if you want me to help you in your endeavor to try to woo these women. But I don't know them. Until I know them, then I can help you out. But the order of operations, okay, and in order to get from point A to point B, is you've got to make her feel different from other women. Now, see, the failure that a lot of these nice guys have, or a lot of men have in general, is what they don't realize is that when you're just an average woman, when you're just okay, you don't really have to be overtly pretty, you're just okay looking gal, lots of people are really fucking nice to you. The world is a pretty nice place to well-off and attractive women, okay? And just okay women. I mean, just okay to really average to really beautiful. I mean, just, you know, it goes up. Now the socially awkward girls, maybe the fat girls, you know, maybe the skinny chicks that are just kind of sitting in the back of the class, they're different. They're a different breed, a different caliber, all right? You know, we'll talk about them in a second. But average-looking women, going up from there, the world is a really nice fucking place to them. So if you're trying to be nice to that woman who just gets nice shit because she is, well, you're not making her feel special. She doesn't feel different from any of the other girls. I mean, because this is just normal shit. This is Tuesday, right? Like, if you go up to one of these girls, just an average-looking, plain-Jane-looking girl, or just some beautiful-looking girl, and you try to be nice and treat her well, in her mind, she's just, no, there's just some nigga here. That's what you are. You're just some nigga. Now, let's take that chick who sat in the back of the class, right? You know the really skinny one that looked all fucking sickly and shit. She's different, because if she's socially awkward and never has anyone talk to her, if you go up there and you talk to her, you spit game to that girl, it's going to be, you can be kind and nice to her because she's never had that shit before. Because it's going to make her feel special because no one has ever treated her in that particular way. And a lot of women, which I see seldomly gets discussed, get caught in shitty relationships because they stay with men who, because no one else ever talked to them. A lot of women are caught in the shitty relationships with men because in her mind, that's the only guy who will ever love me. That's the only guy who will ever be with me. I'll talk about that some other time. However, just for the sake of this video right here, when it comes to order of operations, you have different calibers of women, and treating them well is going to work differently to women who don't get treated well very often because they never experience that. It can backfire, and again, I'll talk about that later, but just general rule, that's how it is. So a lot of men fail because they don't understand that the general experience of a lot of women is that people like them and people treat them well. So if you try to treat that woman well, you are going to end up just looking like some average fucking Joe. You're just going to look like some average person. If you treat her nicely, you're not making her feel special. Right? So it's not so much that you are a fucking worm, that you're detestable, that you're terrible, that you're a shitty person like all the people at Our Nice Guys will make you feel. It's that you are not correctly approaching how to date this woman correctly. You have to make her feel special. And so, and because you fail to do that, that's how you end up in the friend zone, because, you know, she still likes getting shit from you, or she still likes you as a person. Either she just likes getting shit for you, or she likes you, you know, just hanging out with you. You would hope that it's the latter than the former. However, that's why there is so many failures when it comes to trying to treat women well and trying to date them. It's not so much your fault. It's not your problem. Well, it is your problem if you're trying to date the girl. However, it's not your fault. I mean, you didn't create the way the world is. You know, so so there you go. See, now hopefully a lot of people would have seen what I've just did there. All right, this is a good example of when you see someone who's hurting or see someone confused. Well, you fucking help them. You don't just mock them. You don't just say shitty things about them. You help them. Help them be better. And that's one thing I find an astonishing lack of when it comes to these men. A lot of people put the onus on these men like they're fucked up. Like they've lost their goddamn minds because they think trying to treat women well is the best way to date them. Completely neglecting that they got that advice, well, from women. Completely neglecting that they got that idea from women. If you're going to try to help fix a problem, you gotta address where the problem comes from. And here's the thing. Now you're probably wondering, well, if treating women well doesn't work, why would any woman say that? Well, I'll explain why. Because that is indeed what she wants. Let's not pretend. A lot of women do want to be treated well. They do want to be taken care of. They do want to be with men that make them feel good about them. So they do. There's no way around that. However, what a lot of women, because of their desire to feel special, is more powerful than that. What they try to do a lot of the times is they try to create good men by picking shitty guys that they feel are a challenge. They try to change good men, they try to change shitty men into good men, because if they can, then it is the ultimate show of how she is special and different from all of the other girls this guy has run through. That is their mindset. They want to be treated well by a man who consistently has shown to treat women shitty, because if he treats her well, then that would mean, logically, she is special. The foolishness in this, however, is that women try to do this with the power of their vaginas. and you're going to lose 10 out of 10 times because your vagina is just not that fucking good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know, that's why. So that's why a lot of women get caught in these shitty relationships. Now, on the Are Nice Guy Reddit, a lot of these guys get mocked because they see women complain about the shitty men that they're dating. A lot of the feminists on there and the white knights on there will mock these men because they say that the girls are dating jerks. Well, here's the thing about that. Again, which is astonishing to me. They completely neglect the fact that the men, the nice guys who see this reality, only get this from their friends. If a woman is only saying mean and shitty things about her boyfriend to her bestie or her best guy friend, in his perception, especially if he's never met the guy, in his mind, the only thing he sees are the negative things she complained about. He can't have any other impression of that man because all the woman ever said was all of these shitty things. That's why he thinks that these girls are dating a bunch of jerks. Because all these women have ever produced was, these are the negative, shitty things I hate about this guy. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of women stay in shitty relationships with people they don't even fucking like. That is a reality. That's the truth. And they complain about it. And the nice guys hear that shit. And that's where they get the idea from. Again, these men aren't fucking crazy. These men aren't worms. These men aren't nasty people. They're just ignorant. And they're sad. And they don't understand how the fucking world works. And it would make a hell of a lot more sense than more people just explain this shit to them. Just explain to them how you were wrong, how to get better, and what's going on. And I did try to do that with a video series I just stopped making. I probably need to get back into making. So I'll probably get back in that in the near future. However, this rant was caused by the shittiness I saw on Our Nice Guys. And so that will end the video there. You know, hopefully you guys got something out of today's video. Again, if you see some man that's sad and upset about the friend zone, pass this information to him. Tell him what's going on. Tell him why it's not working. And help him be better. Don't just leave the nigga out on the wayside all confused and angry, because it's just going to make him jaded. And it's not healthy for anyone to be like that. So help him out, man. Help him. Help him. Come on, you know. So that being said, man, I certainly hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And if you did, man, go ahead. Click that like button. Now shoot, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below. As always, you guys have yourselves a great day. And I'll see you cool cats soon. Adios.